Once upon a time, there was a 7-year-old boy who liked to help his mom in the kitchen. He'd come home after school while she was baking, and she'd teach him how to cook. Now, his mom would write down all these recipes for their baking and their cooking and put them in a recipe book so the boy could remember them. His mom had a knack for cooking, and because of his affection for her, long after she died, when the boy was an adult, he used to go back and read this cookbook and reflect on how they had this great meal and this great experience together, and he'd make and bake all the stuff that he made with his mom. Now, over time, this boy grew into a man, and the man became a master chef. He had an excellent restaurant. He was unbelievable as a cook and had world renown for his abilities in the kitchen. But after a while, he stopped remembering cooking as an experience with his mom. And his enjoyment of cooking, even as a master chef, began to diminish. He found that he didn't really like the recipes anymore. He wasn't having the same number of compliments. He just wasn't getting the same level of fulfillment out of it that he used to when he was a little boy. And so in the middle of his career, this guy stopped using the cookbook. He didn't feel connected to the cookbook. He didn't feel connected to his mom. And then, lo and behold, he stopped cooking entirely. He got out of the kitchen. Now, when I was a little kid, my first children's pastor told me this story about the boy who used to cook with his mom and read the cookbook as a metaphor for understanding why it's so important for us to stay in the scriptures. Because the truth is, when we're in the scriptures, when we're in the cookbook, we're remembering time with God. We're learning how to recreate those experiences, how to anchor them, and how to take them for ourselves. But when we get bored and when we forget about God and when we abandon the cookbook altogether, well, the next thing you know, we just don't cook, which is to say, our Christian life falls flat and we abandon it and walk away. We want to start our teaching about the fundamentals of Christian theology with the understanding that you can't leave the cookbook behind.